is what you might call a certified banger.
Oh,
A lesson in bangology, my guys.
ooh,
That was, you gotta make that a thing.
Yes. Okay. I thought I had to fight all of y'all for this because I'm so in the minority. Everyone.
You know what? Every time somebody says "living under a rock," they insult another one of the greatest shows, SpongeBob SquarePants, because you know your boy Patrick stays living under the rock.
I mean, today I've literally listened in the past 6 months to 500% more music and varied music.
That's great
because of the podcast.
Man.
I don't know, bro. Guy. Sometimes you just drink 17 Bud Lights in 5 hours, and you're just like, "I'll go get a fucking face tattoo." Sometimes that happens.
No, yeah. Toby's fine, but going back to those is kind of rough.
Nah, man, those are classics. It's hard for me. I don't know.
I would like to watch it again because I don't actually. I've definitely watched the Spider-Man movies in full, but I was definitely super young, so I don't remember a lot of them. I could definitely basically experience the original Spider-Man trilogy for the first time, essentially. I could do that.
That's really frightening. You definitely need to do that.
That is frightening. I watched those so much as a kid. Those are
it is
favorite.
Frightening. This is a Halloween Horror Night shirt. That is frightening.
Yo, that was a dope. That was a dope version of the shirt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's got the fucking Stranger Things thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And the freaking Ghostbusters.
I was gonna say Demogorgon, but that's the demigod or whatever.
It's got the Ghostbuster, the gargoyle dog, and then the Marshmallow Man.
The Marshmallow, yeah. I didn't get to go
through those from Ghostbusters.
Stranger Things is a top 10 show all time.
That's interesting. I wouldn't say that
at all.
But I like the show a lot.
It's dope. It's dope. I would.
Yeah.
Top 10 all time.
No, I'm not mad at him.
Show and anime.
Time.
Wait, and anime.
If we're talking anime, you're
if
nuts.
we include anime, then no.
Okay.
Oh,
That's fine. That's fine then.
Live action shows.
I'd go live action. Yeah.
I'm definitely ready for the next season.
Oh, absolutely.
That's correct.
Let's see. But I guess with that, guys, welcome everybody to the Unboxing Life podcast.
God dang, it's happening.
Snap.
We're already in the mix.
What episode is this?
This is episode 34, my gents. And I can't believe I got the number right. I almost said 33.
My gents.
But we are so glad to be here doing the Toby dance, chilling out. Rolling right in.
The Toby and Chica dance.
Chica dance, yeah. I will be one of your 4 hosts for the evening, David. I'm joined by my special guests. Going from order of my Zoom call, we got Treasure.
Oh shit. I am what you call a treasure trove of useless references. So
I will agree with that.
We got
me, man. Cheers.
The hottest beat maker since
Dang.
Premiere, Amo, aka
DJ Premier.
That is it.
What's going on, everybody? Spreading the love.
Amo might be top 10, but I don't know. I mean, I think Just Blaze is a little better.
Wow. How dare you?
Blasphemy on my podcast? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
And
Not
lastly,
on my Christian server.
certainly not leastly, we have Cameron.
Hello.
What is
I've been speaking out of turn throughout the intros, which is poor form by me. But anyway, we are in it. We are starting off. You caught me the hell off guard. There was a likelihood that I was not recording, but I'm a baller, so I was recording.
Very nice.
So yeah, we are in it. We are getting going. I'm excited to be here as your special guest, Daddy David.
You are my special guest for sure.
All right.
Cameron literally just shotgunned it like a college jock.
Yeah.
Shotgun his White Claw.
I hope you.
That he has.
Goodness.
A college dog for sure. And
Hopefully
he
needs some milk.
a frat boy.
He needs some milk.
Don't mix dairy and alcohol, folks. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
But
it's
anyways,
interesting color coming out of you at the end of the night if you do that.
Yay, bro.
yeah,
Tasty.
yeah, let's
I'm
not.
gonna pick that in my mind for the next hour.
You're
All right.
welcome, bro. It's what I do.
Let's do our traditions real quick, guys. And
Oh,
that's-
Oh
Absolutely. Let me
shit!
find the paper.
yeah. Oh,
I
frick.
have one. You want to
Okay.
go, David?
I'll go ahead.
I don't think you go first too often.
Not often, yeah, for some reason.
Let's do it.
My track of the week is what you might call a certified banger.
Oh,
A lesson in bangology, my guys.
ooh,
That was, you gotta make that a thing. That was a fucking bar. A lesson in bangology. God dang.
A metaphorical Kama Sutra, if you will, for the music listening.
That is hilarious. That is a good bar. Okay, anyway. It is Yeah Right by Vince Staples, which I'm not even a big Vince Staples fan. But this, okay, so first of all, it's produced by Flume and Sophie, who are two.
Oh, Flume?
All right.
I did not know that.
Can we listen to this right now? Can we listen to the track of the episode right now?
After the episode.
You want to cut? You want to cut?
No, not really. Keep going.
Yeah, we should right after. It has some interesting features that I won't even say because they're not listed. And oh my god, this beat goes crazy.
That's the hook that goes, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just hard. It's a banger. You could dance to it. You could go to it.
Oh,
making that
Vince
for audio listeners.
Makes that kind of music.
For audio listeners, he just made the stank face. TM. That is.
He made the mean mug face.
Yeah, exactly. That mean mug. Yeah, for sure.
You gotta appreciate a song. I'll do that for you. So
the mean mug face is different.
I saw that video the other day of that clip of Tupac walking out in the street. And there's this like toddler, like this kid that who can't be more than 3, like staring at him, and he's like with his camera crew, and he's like, "Yo, you see right here, this guy's mean mugging me. He's mean mugging me right now, and I could approach him, and I could do something about it. But I mean, I don't know what we got on him. I don't know if he's what he's doing. So I'm gonna make the safe move and I'm gonna walk away." And I was like, that's just so funny. Just this random little kid on the street that he's just like, "You're mean mugging me."
Yeah. Mean mugging Tupac. He's staring him down.
It's so funny.
Great video.
Tupac don't want the heat.
Don't want the heat.
God dang.
Who's going next?
I would like to go last.
Okay.
All right. Assign it, David. You're the host.
Cameron.
All right.
Cameron.
So.
Go to hell, dumbass.
Oh, I'm gonna forget how to say it in Japanese. God damn it! All right. Anyway, that's a throwback or a throwback. LOL. So, the fact for this episode is Clyde W. Tombaugh discovered the dwarf planet Pluto in 1930, and subsequently dedicated his life to the study of the planet as well as other elements of our outer solar system.
And then Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, "Yeah, fuck you, man.
You talking about it?
Off. That ain't a planet no more. How about that?"
What show is that from? When he talked, that's Big Bang Theory, right? When Sheldon doesn't like him because he was on the committee that said,
but
Pluto
he actually
wasn't a planet.
didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
But it wasn't actually him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope. All right. So, Tombaugh passed away in 1997, less than a decade away from the 2006 New Horizons project, which finally sent a ship to fly by Pluto. However, on the ship were a container holding some of his ashes, meaning that after a posthumous trip of about 3.26 billion miles, spanning the course of almost 10 years, in 2015, he flew by the object of his life's work at a distance of only 7.8 thousand miles.
Yo.
Which,
that's super.
Is it still coming back around?
No, it's just going. New Horizons just went off into deep space. I don't know if they have plans for it to observe other things in deep space. I would figure they might, considering that was definitely a several $1 million, if not however much, project. But I thought that was what was fucking nuts to me, is how many miles 3.26 billion is, and they got the ship to pass by. Like, you're lobbing this thing into deep space. It's going to take 10 years to hit its target over a course of 3.26 billion miles, and you get it within 8K. That is so close for how far and how long it took to get there. That's so nuts. The math and everything that was done. So yeah, I mean, it was crazy that he gets to, ride out into space, at least part of him. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Ride out.
To me, how they spend like all these assets into like space, and then they just like send it out there, and it's like, well,
yeah,
you got a picture of Pluto.
Dude,
like, you ever heard of that?
The thoughts of deep space is so incredibly frightening for me.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Maybe we'll get into aliens on this cast. Who knows?
Oh
Could
yeah,
happen. Might happen. It's been
the
on the back
scale.
burner.
It's so crazy to me that we've sent stuff past our solar system, and it's just
I think
everybody knows that
I want to say
Egyptians are aliens.
You said what?
I want to say Voyager is the one that's like the furthest away that we sent in like the 80s or 90s. That is like fucking out there now. But Alex, you were talking about how it's mind blowing you to how much money we send and then send it off. Have you ever heard of the space project? I don't know the name of the project, but the project where it was a European team and an American team combining, and one team used kilometers and one team used miles. And they put it all together, and they sent the thing into space, and it missed the target by a fucking mile. They wasted like millions of dollars.
Or was it by a kilometer?
Lots of either. It doesn't really fucking matter. It was not close. So they just completely like bombed this thing into space and just wasted millions of dollars.
Wow.
Needless to say, I don't think that's happened again.
On the American side, it's our fault for thinking in miles when you know the rest of the damn world is in kilometers. Like,
we're the only not using the metric system.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
it's like us, South Africa, and Liberia that use the
what a great
system
mix.
Of measurement.
It's a great mix.
Yeah, shout out to all of us.
Shout out to South Africa.
Shout out to all of us.
That's my long-winded space segment. I believe Alex is going next because Treasure's going last.
Yeah.
That's with
sir.
I'm going to give you my joke. It's a one-liner. 2-liners, actually.
Ooh.
eBay is so useless. I tried to look up lighters, and all they had was 1,300 matches.
Dang.
Oh.
Took me a second. Nice.
Nice.
He's a creative. I like him. Yeah.
No, I like it. Yeah, for sure. Where'd you get that one?
It was like on Reddit. Some Reddit.
It's good stuff. That's where I source most, if not all, of my stuff. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, my quote is a little unorthodox, but it's.
Oh boy.
When isn't it?
That's not true. Where the fuck is it?
That's kind of true. I'll ride with Alex on that one.
Yeah,
that's pretty true.
So the 7th episode of Love Is War. I'm gonna try my best not to spoil it. If you have not seen the show or have not listened to our previous episode that came out earlier this week, but there's a part where underwear is brought up in the show, and essentially it is deduced that men who wear boxer briefs are a certain type of man. So I'm just gonna read out what I quoted off the cuff when he was saying it, and it was basically, men who wear boxer briefs are man whores.
Which is hilarious because I wear boxer briefs.
See, okay, so that's what I wanted to get into. Is
pause
on all this. What do y'all wear?
No, so we're doing an underwear reveal. All right, we're doing an underwear reveal. All right,
underwear reveal.
We're not doing that. No.
And on audio, I almost just revealed a bit too much.
I am always rocking the boxer briefs.
Let's go.
Always.
Yuck.
What's better than that?
Boxers, like just straight up boxers. I'm just like I need the freedom.
I'm also just standard boxers. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I thought I had to fight all of y'all for this because I'm so in the minority. Everyone wears boxer briefs.
Yeah. Once they were invented in like 2000, whatever the freak. When I don't know. It seems like they just came around. They were the ultimate.
Unrolls a fucking scroll back when boxer briefs were invented in the age-old year of 2000.
But like, okay, so at least you didn't say briefs because that's mad wild.
That's super tight, right?
Briefs is
near speedos, right?
The technical term for tighty whities. No.
Yeah, like I used to wear briefs as a kid, and I was like,
everybody did.
It's just like a cup. That's like holding you together.
And your sperm count just completely derails.
It's awful, yeah.
Well, you didn't have sperm, so.
Huh?
Well, as a kid.
When I was wearing them shits at 12, I definitely had sperm.
I wasn't wearing them by 12. Man.
Yeah, I can't remember when I switched, but boxers were always too loose to me. Like they would bunch up, and it's like, I feel like I'm just wearing shorts under shorts and stuff, and then
you get used to it.
You definitely get used to it. And mine, I don't think mine really ever like. I've gotten into the thing where you tuck it underneath you kind of like straighten it out, and then you really don't have any problems after that.
See, I don't have to do that. I can literally just pull up pants because they cling to you, but you have a little looseness in like you need.
I would be curious to see my sperm count versus yours.
Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, there's definitely a very large interpersonal difference that has nothing to do with the type of underwear you work, but
no, fuck that was
the next
versus boxes.
That's the newest biggest AO of the whole podcast is let's compare sperm count, bro.
Yeah, man.
Jesus Christ.
Tell us what you think in the comments. Boxer briefs or boxers?
And who do you think has the higher sperm count, me or Trevor?
I mean, they don't call him Daddy David for no reason. I'm gonna say that much.
Hey, man.
So many children, yeah.
That is a big AO.
Jordan, let me know.
It's okay. My man wears a raincoat. It's fine.
You don't know about any of that.
We practice.
You don't know about wearing a raincoat?
I don't know about anything you're talking about.
Gotcha.
You got to be wearing a raincoat, my guy.
That is facts.
Yes, sir.
That is facts.
Now.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Fucking homeboy just said that Stranger Things is top 10 show of all time. And
it could be. I mean, it could be. I
definitely don't get what's so yikes about that statement, though.
Yeah.
Fam. I think it's just like completely overshooting it.
I mean, so we made the important distinction that anime wouldn't count, because if we're putting anime in there, then I mean, probably half my list would be anime if we're doing top 10 shows all time including anime. I mean, at least I've literally not thought about this at all. I literally just brought up like Stranger Things could be top 10, and it's like all of a sudden I'm
for you or in general. I think that's a different distinction. Okay,
it's not going to be for everybody. Yeah,
what we've been talking. I mean, we can get into that later. We had this conversation about objectivity versus subjectivity and rating. I mean, objectively, I think it's like really, really good. I wouldn't say, if I was meant to design a top 10 for like humanity or whatever, like of someone who's literally been living under a rock and they want to get into the best shows.
You know what? Every time somebody says living under a rock, they insult another one of the greatest shows, SpongeBob SquarePants, because your boy Patrick stays living under the rock.
I mean, isn't that the point though? Isn't that the whole joke? Is that he's stupid as fuck because he literally lives under a rock? Isn't that the whole meme?
He has a TV made of sand. Yeah, my man.
That's a fact. That is canon within SpongeBob.
He can't be that dumb.
Oh, Pinhead, hairy looking. Pinhead Larry.
Pinhead.
Yeah.
God damn.
I thought that was the sequel to Hardcore Henry. Pinhead Larry.
Oh my God! Did you see Hardcore Henry?
No, I've been wanting to.
I never saw that. That's the first person action movie, right?
It's interesting.
I heard it didn't really go that well for review wise, but
no.
Apparently it got a little tired in the action, but if you there's a, I don't know if the video is just called Bad Motherfucker, but that's the song that goes over it, which is like maybe 10 years before like early YouTube-ish, of just a guy like in a like a crime fighting situation, and it's all first person. It was like the first thing to really ever do that. So that's a great video, but I don't know. But
that's a great video.
That
might be top 10 videos of all time.
Listen here, sucker. We're just addicted to the top 10s now. Yeah, but I think honestly, I can see myself.
When I watched season 1 of Stranger Things, like shit. Like I think that might have been like 2016, 2017. I think maybe the year after it came out. And I was watching it when I was off for Thanksgiving or whatever, and I watched the entire first season in one day, and I was like, it kind of bored me, like to tears. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie.
I'm looking at you extremely sideways for you being bored. Like, even if your take is correct, which it's not, being bored to tears by a show and continue. Shut up. Boring. Being bored to tears by a show and continuing to watch it for the entire day is the weirdest thing. What?
Well, to be fair, my grandparents were watching it at the time as well, and I wanted to see what all the hoopla was about, because it is literally so overblown. It was so overblown at the time. It was like everyone was on that show's dick. Every fucking one.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It was like a new Walking Dead.
I guess I had pretty high expectations. I can't remember when I watched it, but it's interesting to think of how much that affects it because I love season 1. I thought the mystery was done so well, and the other 2 seasons don't really have a great mystery. Season 1, I don't think.
It does so well of capturing the genre, the time period that it tries to capture, like all the details
100%.
of the 80s.
Yeah.
It's like coupled with all the references to like movies and shows that was from the 80s and music from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Of course, I wasn't around in the 80s, but I like the 80s time period for what it is.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone in fantasizing about the idea of living in a certain decade of or not fantasizing, rather romanticizing a decade, and it's period where the car. I always love like old 60s movies and stuff like that, like seeing the old cars and everything like that. And all those sets. It's like kind of crazy to me how they design an entire town to look like it's still the 80s. But yeah. I know. But yeah, no. I mean, now we're just talking about Stranger Things, I guess. I don't know. I like that show a fuckload. Did you watch the second season?
We have talked about
Trevor?
Stranger Things.
We have certainly talked about it.
Wow. Oh my God. That was painful. If that's how I sound when I do that, I'm never doing that again.
I like that quality about you, so I'm not going to tell you that that's how you sound, but anyway, did you watch the second season, Trevor?
God, no.
All right, then fuck you. Fuck you for debating me on calling it top 10 when you haven't seen half the show.
God, no.
Season 3 was maybe my favorite.
Isn't season 2 like arguably worse than the first though?
I think it's the worst. I think season 2 is the worst season easily.
Yeah, like why are you even coming at my throat when it's like even worse than the first?
Because I'm being dumb as frick and forgetting the extent of the show. So anyway, my point. I couldn't remember if it was a long ass second season or 2 seasons. I couldn't fucking remember. But anyway, fuck you for debating me when you haven't seen 2/3 of the show, motherfucker.
Fam, why would I watch an arguably worse season when I didn't even enjoy the first?
Yeah, I guess it's not for you.
I literally we're so off the cuff here. I'm not prepared for this at all. But I don't remember season 2 being that bad.
I don't think it was bad. It was good, but it wasn't.
When you compare them, it's like the bottom one, but it doesn't mean that it's not worth watching whatsoever.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I agree.
Either way, fuck you.
Yeah, look, that is an interesting topic though because you talked about people hyping it up.
Real quick, David. We have said "fuck you" to each other so much that it's definitely not like a crybaby.
It'll be shit.
Okay,
I just
wanted that to be on the table. That that means nothing. Yeah.
Oh, for the people.
I feel like
for the people.
Was about to make a dope transition.
Yeah, we cussed each other out for sport, but I had to get that on the table because I didn't want that misunderstanding to set. So David, take it away, Daddy.
Overhyped shows.
That's an interesting topic. Is overhyped shows expectations. And something being overrated versus being bad. How much do you let expectations affect your opinion of a show when you watch it, or anything when you watch or read it or whatever? I feel like I try to divorce myself from expectations as much as possible. It's kind of like the trailer thing. Like
it's hard.
And if I get them, I try to just like do my best like mental effort to like just remove that and like because I feel like when people are like. I don't know. When there's something so great and then people like the only thing they have to say about after watching it is that it was overhyped. It's like, I get it, but dang, there's still a good stuff there.
Yeah, it's like, did you not still enjoy it? Like it was like, sure, I get it, but like, did you because it didn't meet your expectations? Are you gonna throw it in the garbage? Like,
it's not even that you're throwing it in the garbage. It's a negative. Like it is negative about it. Like you went into it thinking it was going to be better. And it's not. So that doesn't mean that it was overall bad or overall good. That it wasn't overall good is what I'm saying. But you had it up to here and you went into it and you're like, kind of fell over here. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a 9.5 show and it was a 7.
Yeah.
Average. It provided entertainment, but
that makes sense.
Wasn't what I thought.
I'm saying
something interesting to me.
Go ahead, Alex.
When I'm scrolling through the anime Reddit, Shout out to Reddit. Go follow us on r/unboxing life podcast.
Podcast.
Right?
Hey.
But I'll be scrolling through the anime Reddit sometimes, and it seems that people are torn. They're fit into one of two categories: people who think Demon Slayer is overrated, and people who think it's underrated.
That underrated word, I hate so much.
Underrated.
Because it's like, yes, like,
it's rare. It's very
there's certain
rare.
There's certain things like take for instance like Kanye's Discog. I've seen comments where they're like, Graduation is underrated. Graduation is not underrated. It sold almost 1 million copies in its first week and beat out 50 Cent, which was arguably the hottest rapper at the time on the planet.
Yeah,
it's widely regarded as one of his best albums. Like it's not underrated. No one knows what underrated means.
That's some kid who's like the only Kanye fan in his friend group, and like people are telling him that Graduation ain't shit, and he's just like going on the message boards with only that as information. Like in terms of like widespread popular culture, like things that literally millions of people have consumed, it's basically impossible for something to be underrated. Like,
or I think
well, I take that back to a degree because you can I mean, now we're getting into objectivity versus subjectivity. You can definitely subjectively enjoy something way more, especially forms of entertainment like pieces of art. You can definitely enjoy that way more than the general populace if it speaks to you on a certain level, or if you have any sort of like personal connection with it. Like any movie where you can kind of like more than the general populace, like put yourself in the shoes of the protagonist, or like anything like that. Like that's when I would definitely say like, okay, yeah, I understand you having that take that it's underrated. But in general, it's like what Trevor said, where it's like basically not even worth talking about something as being underrated. But
it depends. I mean, it's obviously overused nowadays, like saying graduation. But like, you know, it's useful sometimes. I'm trying to think if we can think of examples of like entertainment or art that we think is underrated, like one particular thing that we always think is underrated. And I'm trying to think.
I mean, I hesitate to like, you know, comment on that because like I would say a couple albums that I've listened to or something like that I don't hear really anyone talking about that I like a lot. But it could be that I don't hear anyone talking about it because I'm not like seeking it out necessarily. So like I could be like, oh, you know, because the one that comes to mind is like Jeezy, Beautiful and the Damned, which I like a lot. And which have like a couple of my friends that I've shown it to have been
definitely
like,
not underrated.
Yeah, this is but like they underrate it in my opinion. But I don't know if like in general, like the like taking 100% or over 90% or whatever of opinions into account, like would that be the same as the three people around me? The likely answer is no, but it's still possible.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I'll tell you that much. It's probably his most solid album. Yeah, and a lot. It's got like one of his biggest songs ever on it. So,
well, it's also like
2 or 3.
I feel like underrated should speak to people's like what they say about it and their opinion more than how big it is too. Because
it certainly depends. Because it like in terms of like musical artists, underrated could be used correctly in my eyes. If you're talking about someone that only has like, say like 100,000 listeners or whatever, you find someone that isn't popped off yet, like say like, I don't know, I can't really think of any. But yeah, you would find them on Spotify and they have like maybe 500,000 listeners.
Yeah,
and they make banging music, like awesome music that should be put to the forefront, but it's not because maybe they don't have the machine behind them, or maybe they don't have the kind of marketing that they should.
Yeah.
That could be underrated.
Speaking of which,
that being said,
wait.
Nature is underrated.
God.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that being said, stream Most Wanted on
God
on SoundCloud. These two man's project, which loyal listeners will know about, and if you're new, you know, Most Wanted. It's I believe it's under Ammo in terms of publication.
Yeah.
Vision on YouTube.
Check that shit out.
But I still think
dropped on January 22nd.
That shit could have 1 million plays, and I would say it's not enough.
Dang. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go spin that shit.
Go spin it. Go click it on your desktop.
Yeah. I guess for the longest time, people said Black Thought was underrated, and now he's getting more attention than he did before.
That makes a lot of sense.
So like that's also tricky as well because he's not popular, in terms of the fact that like if you know the roots, you may know the name Black Thought, you may not. Like I have no idea. Like I've never really talked to that fan base or even like looked at those comment sections.
I can answer that. I've watched, you know, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon for forever, and I didn't know that Black Thought was that guy in the roots until you guys literally told me like a couple months ago.
Yeah. But at the same time, people that are in the know with hip hop put him like top 5 dead or alive. Like he is not underrated in terms of people that are in the know. He's underrated in the sense that maybe you come across him and he only has like 50,000 listeners or whatever, and he's fucking berating you at bars, and you're like, holy shit, why is this guy not popular? But to the people that matter, he is not underrated.
So I guess
he is perfectly rated.
Which he has, like, his bar is basically that. It's like when people are screaming, you're the best who did it, what's underrated? Like, he knows his fan base and like the hip hop heads and stuff, and that's basically all he cares about.
Yeah.
And it could also be a sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, interrupt.
No, I guess that's what a lot of artists sort of fall into. Like, especially if you're getting like older in the game, you've been in the game for a while. It's like, okay, I know I'm not going to be the biggest artist ever, but I know my fan base, and you know.
That's what I was going to speak to. Is that he's absolutely not trying to be in the mainstream.
Right.
He knows his core fan base. He knows he's going to work that. He knows he's going to get those certain plays or whatever. He knows he's going to be revered in those as long as he continues cranking out that quality music. He's on the Tonight Show. Like, he cannot be underrated.
Yeah.
I mean, still, if he's on there, like, and people don't say, like, I didn't hear him in a lot of lists until like that Funk Master Flex freestyle, and then like the stuff he's been putting out. I feel like even like hip hop heads didn't put them on their list, except for a few people who I watched, but.
I'll probably give it to you until he released Volume 2. I think Volume 2 is what kind of like turned the tide for him, at least.
I think it was the freestyle. That was like the biggest thing he's done in years. Like it has like 10 million views on YouTube. It's insane. Yeah. But
that's nuts, yeah.
I mean, it's also like his output, like you're saying. Yeah, it's interesting.
He didn't have a solo career before, so.
Yeah.
So
you're a member of a band. Like, dang.
Essentially what it seems to be is the validity of something being underrated is largely based on who you ask and how many people you ask, seems like, with what Trevor said. So
and that's kind of
it's a tough one.
It's definitely a subjective concept. So it's that's interesting for sure.
Good thing to talk about, because there is the conversation we're having, a few of us were having last night, about subjectivity and objectivity in art, which is honestly, like, breaking into it now, it is a giant conversation that's been had for a while. Like, I think there's like philosophers I learned about who would debate this kind of thing back in the day, but I don't even know how to like.
Yeah, I mean,
I think like
if you want to talk about it from the philosophical perspective,
what does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
What does it mean? I don't know.
If you want to talk about it from that perspective, it would be mostly, I think. And this is largely conjecture, the idea that like the human mind is basically physically incapable of being fully objective. Like, because we're social people, because we're social animals, and because we learn everything from the people around us, everybody's experience is going to be different. So it's essentially impossible to put yourself in a completely level zero mind state and to say like, objectively, this is whatever. I mean, that's what we talked about, is the nature of art. Art is subjective almost or entirely by its nature, entirely inherently. It's something that is like, it comes from, and that I was going to say that when you were talking about Black Thought, about him producing for his fan base, is like, I respect the fuck out of that for any artist, of like not just trying to like hook on to trends or like hook on to popularity of any sort,
staying true to yourself.
But just staying true to yourself and producing the art that you believe in. Like, that is, I respect that so much, of like being that determined to produce something that you believe in so much and that you know, that you believe in so much that you know will find its audience, as opposed to trying to pander to the audience.
Yeah, there's a reoccurring theme on like the Joe Budden podcast where they say, if you make good music, people will find it. Like, word of mouth is incredibly powerful. So you don't really have to chase trends in order to get big. Like, we say this all the time on the we've said this at least 5 or 6 times. There's so many goddamn people in the world that you can find your niche.
Yeah,
like there's going to be people that will find you, and they'll spread it with their people. And it's more important to have like you can talk about like this with like friendship too. It's more important to have a cult fan base than to have an overarching fan base that's fickle and that will like jump ship the second, like a Drake fan base over a Black Thought fan base. Black Thought will always sell however many records he will. Drake kind of comes and goes with whatever he's doing musically. Like if he does another More Life, you know, people that don't like the rhythm or I don't know if I'm saying that right, or like the Caribbean style music, they're gonna jump ship.
Oh, rhythm.
What the fuck is he even doing?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I thought of when I was saying my piece about like not pandering and doing your own art. Is like Toosie Slide feels like when it came out and the nature of the thing, when it's literally like it's literally directing you to do like a simple ass dance. It's like, okay, is this like literally tailor made for fucking TikTok right now? Like, is this?
Yes,
what we're doing?
Was. Absolutely, yeah,
and it's
absolutely
like,
was.
and it blew the fuck up, and it was extremely successful. And it's just like, I get it, but like, I don't want to really listen to that song. Like, so
he makes music for far too many people. Like it's completely overwhelming how many people he has to satisfy in order to keep where he's at, which is just phenomenal on another level. But
I think you could try to look at things objectively, but you, like we were saying, you never can fully because everything is subjective. I mean, everybody experiences life completely unique from one another. Like what I experience may not be what you experience. We could be experiencing the same exact thing but get something completely different out of that. And so that, I mean, that leads into interpretation. What I like might not be what you like, and and that's the same thing with art, with music, with anime, with pretty much anything in an art form where some people appreciate it, some people don't, and that's just based off experiences and what appeals to different tastes.
There was a crazy thing that Rocio did like 2 weeks ago or something. We were in the car and she was like, "Yo, you should show me bad rap." And I look at her and I'm like, "Huh." I didn't think about it like that, because the reasoning behind that was that, "Are you good?"
I deadass almost just spat out the drink. That was so fucking funny. That was so fucking funny. You should show me bad rap was not at all what I was expecting from that story. That's funny as fuck.
Oh.
So I just like I had to contain myself. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It threw me for a loop, and I kept like repeating the question, and I was floored because I've never taken that approach to try to get someone into a genre that they don't like. So say, for example, me not liking reggaeton as much as, you know, say the next person. Alex could show me awful shit, and then he could show me what makes what he likes separated from the bad shit. Yeah,
all day.
Yeah, and it's almost like I made her a list of like, or a playlist of like 10 songs, and they were like hip hop classic songs that I just wanted to show her. Like just to get her like into the door of hip hop. And so I was showing her like, you know, Biggie and Pac and Snoop and all that old shit. And she didn't like it. She didn't like really any of it. And so she comes at me and what?
Oh, I was gonna keep going with your story. I got something after.
Okay. And she was just saying, "Why don't you show me bad rap so I can like," because from her perspective, it all sounds the same. Which is sort of understandable. I mean, there's a lot of subgenres of rap nowadays. It's kind of, it's very, very.
It's a lot.
But for the most part, the mainstream sounds the same. It's the same, you know, trap, you know, and it's super poppy now. But it just threw me for a loop because I never thought about doing that. Yeah. To get someone into the genre.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to approach it.
I almost feel like. I almost feel like it's. I would love to try it with someone that has no idea what I'm doing, like until I like explain it, maybe.
Right.
But I feel like it would just kind of ruin it unless they were aware of what I was doing. I think it would completely ruin it for them.
That'll be Daddy David's first psych study when he's running his own lab.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
I wanna go around. What is the first rapper that comes to mind when you think bad rap?
Lil Pump.
Oh boy. Yeah, Lil Pump.
Like almost instantly. Every time.
5R.
64 5AR.
I'm gonna do it again. Shout out to you if you know what that is. Holy fuck. That shit is ass.
And if you don't know what it is, don't feel bad, because I don't.
Good. Oh, we played it for you, actually.
Well, I may have repressed it then, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think? Bad rapper.
If we're just doing,
Eminem.
Rorschach test type stuff, I was gonna say 6ix9ine.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I know is not a maybe popular take with you, Alex. I know you like a few of his songs.
So do I. Maybe. But I mean,
I don't know. I've never tried listening to him. There's maybe a couple things, but like that was. I mean, I could come up with a better one, but you said knee-jerk reaction. What do you think of?
He's incredibly abrasive, but
yeah.
So that's interesting though. Then what if someone came on here and you asked them that question and they said Nas? The first thing that comes to mind when
then we just go back to whether or not they're wrong for that. Like,
goodbye.
I was gonna say, do we not have an ejectocito? Cuz do we not just like yeet them off the fucking podcast?
Yeah,
because I'm not a huge fan of mindset. I'm not a huge fan of old school rap. Like I like new school way better than old school, but like you gotta appreciate like what they're doing. Done. Like you can't pretend like if that's your knee jerk reaction to bad rapper, like. I don't know what to do with you. Like you gotta.
But then, but is it truly subjective then, or is there? Because I want to get into
it links
like the borderline cases of can you make the argument for any level of objectivity? Like is Nas at least slightly objectively better than like Lil Pump at rapping, even though they're. I mean, or maybe a better comparison is like, I don't know. I can't even think like the Baby and Lil Pump or something. Like is one slightly better. I guess I don't even know.
That is so painful that you even say that. Like you put those two fucking names in the same sentence. You ask me which is better.
Yeah, I know.
That hurts to my core.
Where it was like Stansby asking like Stansby saying that like DaBaby puts out songs that only sound the same, but then beg like Cardi and whoever else to do the same exact thing.
Bro, like
where like all their song like these super fans of these rappers that basically put out the same song just roast fucking like DaBaby and
Gunna literally
makes
the same exact
same
song.
Yeah.
Gunna makes the exact same song 34 times and then releases it again the next year and then does it again. And then he comes out with a fucking almost instant classic in my eyes and gets shit on. Like, like what are you talking about?
I'm gonna put it simply. If your name is Lil and it's not Wayne, you're more than likely garbage.
Or Kim. Don't do that to Kim.
Oh, you're right.
Lil Kim?
Or Kim.
You know Lil Kim?
Man, bruh.
I'm uneducated.
You got a long way to go.
Hey, man, this has been established. I was thinking about today that, like, I've literally listened in the past, like, 6 months to, like, 500% more music and varied music.
That's great.
Because of the podcast. Man. Like, I was racking my brain. I was like, I think I've probably, like, actively doubled my lifetime albums listened in the last 6 months. And I'm fucking 22. Like...
That's dope. Yeah.
I was like, damn.
I've multiplied the amount of anime that I've seen by 12.
Yeah, so. By 12.
We're both
added 12. Or,
yeah. So it was like, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, damn, I still got a ways to go, but like, I've come like because I was feeling bad about like, I mean, we were talking about our upcoming look forward to it. Top 10 podcasts, top 10 albums of all time.
There you go.
You love me, Trevor. I love you for that. So yeah, I was thinking about doing that and all the albums I've listened to now because of the podcast and everything, and I was like, I'm still a baby, you know. But I've come, I think, a long way. So I was like decently. I mean, proud is maybe a strong word, but like I was like, damn, like this is changing it. This is changing it.
Yeah,
that's absolutely something to be proud about.
Proud of the boy, yeah.
Yeah, like especially considering you weren't like that into finding new music. Like you would listen to it passively, like on playlists or whatever. You'd be like, oh, that's cool. But like you're probably one of those people that just like, yo, I like that song. I couldn't tell you who sings it. But now you're totally like on that
case in point, literally never would have touched Beautiful and Damned if you hadn't been like listening to it over and over again in the Xbox party when it came out.
Yeah.
Like dead ass. Like I would not like, and I love that album to death, and I would not have like thought of even, or it probably wouldn't have come across any sort of whatever I have, Spotify, what have you. So yeah, no, I mean, This podcast has been life changing.
I
say that all choked up as a joke, but I mean, definitely it has. I mean, we've talked about that multiple times of like getting together week by week and talking about dope art and whether or not we liked it, how we all experienced it. That's the ultimate. That's the culmination of the subjectivity, is discussing it with your best fucking friends, with the homies, with the boys, with the Unboxing Life podcast.
Yeah,
I am so happy to be here. I know you all are too. So yeah, that's the shit. That's what it is.
I want to even applaud David for that, because like I roasted him for however long about how you only listen to an album a month.
Yeah,
it was like he was my only music friend. Like I couldn't talk to anyone else about music.
Yep.
So for him to go from listening to 10 albums a year to, God, I don't know how much you listen to, but you're very much on top of the game for the most part now, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
I listen to this, and you listen to albums that I want to get to that I still haven't gotten to yet, like the Roddy Ricch album. You kicked me into gear to listen to that.
Yeah, it's so much better. Like if people don't know, it was literally one album a month. Like I had a schedule, and I would buy albums on iTunes, so I didn't want to spend too much money. I would basically just ask for iTunes gift cards for my birthday and Christmas, and then I would have enough to get me through like a year.
That's a good system. That's a good system.
And I started sending him albums through email because I wanted him to listen to more stuff, so badly.
And I was finally open to the idea of that, and then I got Spotify, and my world changed. So
you got like almost like 6 months apart.
Huh?
I see. You almost got like 6 months apart between your birthday and Christmas. That's a good.
That's exactly. That's why
you say to all the people whose birthdays in December, November. What do you say?
You just gotta ask for double the gift cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta get you through the year.
Yeah. It worked out with my birthday nicely, but yeah, it's so much nicer. It's definitely a testament to like sometimes you think your system, the way you do things, is the best, but sometimes you just gotta change things, and there's a reason why people stream music, and you can just hop on the train and be set. Like I'm not gonna look back. I'm not gonna I think this year I'm just gonna cancel Spotify and start buying albums again. Why would I do that? I would have never heard like a decent amount of the albums on my top 10 list of last year if I bought albums. Like you can just try new artists and stuff. So good.
Yeah, this podcast wouldn't be a thing, at least in the way that it is now, if you were still buying albums. Like you would have to buy a new album every 2 weeks.
I mean,
if you had come to me and streaming services didn't exist, like I didn't have Spotify Premium for students, I wasn't only paying like the minuscule amount that is, and you were like, by the way, we're gonna do a music podcast, it's gonna cost you like basically $10 a month or whatever, I'd be like, I don't know, bro.
There's always my way.
Your way.
I don't know what that is.
I don't get it. I'm so mad.
I don't get it either. Oh well. Anyway.
Is that a fucking Backstreet Boys reference or something?
No.
I want
the
best cold open of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, by the way.
Huh?
That's the best cold open of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No,
it's a whole. I'll explain it very quickly for people that already know what I'm talking about, and for people who don't give a shit. It's basically they have a cold open, so it's like before the intro plays and before they get into the actual episode, it's just like a little skit. And so he's like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is like a cop precinct, right? It's
that's the show with Terry Crews, right?
Yeah, it is Terry Crews. It's Andy Samberg. So yeah, it's all them. And so great show, highly recommend, by the way. So he's doing a lineup, and he's with this woman, and it's a police lineup. So they got 5 guys against the wall, and they're in the mirrored glass room or whatever. And he's the woman's like, I don't know what he looked like, but I was in the bathroom and I heard him singing Backstreet Boys' "I Want It That Way," and so he literally has the entire lineup sing parts of "I Want It That Way." And then it finally gets, and he's like, tell me why, and they all sing in like unison. And then at the very end, the woman's like, it's number 5. Number 5 killed my brother, and he's like, oh my god, I completely forgot about that part. Where he was like trying to pick out a murderer out of a lineup the entire time. You can just, if you search "I Want It That Way" Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you'll find it immediately. Great video.
I think it became the biggest thing from that show. Yeah.
Even though I completely spoiled it, it's definitely worth watching. So.
Yeah. There you go.
That fucking M line where he's like, "I'm gonna pick you out of a lineup" or something like that on So Bad. I can't remember the damn line. But
So Bad.
Like
yeah, on
about
Recovery.
You so blind you couldn't pick anyone else out of a line.
Yeah.
No,
You could have picked anyone out of a lineup. I fucking butchered it so bad.
This being a continuation of last night when we were up between
like 3
after
almost.
we were
It was
done
like
with Dead Ops
3:30.
Arcade, which was about 10:30, 11, something like that. So then for the next
We stayed up for like 4 hours.
3.5, 4 hours just talking about bullshit, and then eventually we got to Eminem and his entire discography, and we talked about that for like a solid 2.5 hours. It was just like
I feel like
my interesting takes, which we'll get to at some point on an episode. But we'll see.
Whenever we do the tier list.
Yeah.
Eminem tier list, which
What were you gonna say, David?
I feel like Cameron slandered us a bit when on the episode where we reviewed Side B, where he's like, like they're saying this being the 2 biggest Eminem fans I know, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, I don't really want that title.
I slandered you by saying that?
A bit of slander nowadays. I don't know.
Nah.
Slander.
That's because that gets into the idea of like, I don't necessarily agree wholeheartedly with what Trevor talks about Eminem being dog shit in general, because I essentially value like artists like that off of their best work and just ignore the rest of it, and so it's like to call him dog shit overall seems like way too much when a lot of what he's put out is when a lot of what he's put out is still good and holds up nonetheless.
Consistently putting out like garbage.
Yeah,
that's
especially,
fine. You can
like,
say he's
7 years. He's
you can say
consistently. He is objectively worse than he was 20 years ago.
Yes, that's fine.
David,
you can
say, gave you that wink.
You can say that. You can say that now he's like fallen off. He's bad now. He's bad. I think that
now he is dog shit. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but like when you say Eminem's a dog shit rapper, that encompasses his entire discography for me.
Right.
No.
But it's like that's how Trevor's feeling now, and Trevor sort of it makes sense to rate them as like how they are now. I think I've talked about this, how like I would do the same thing where I'd try to encompass all of them, and I sort of still do it, but it's sort of the question of like how much their new stuff ruins their legacy overall. Like I feel like people are not gonna hold M in as high regard. Like whenever he stops putting out albums, it's like his career would have been thought of as better if he stopped at a certain point.
At LP2.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking from like the historian's perspective of like overall legacy and everything like that, like I completely understand that, because that makes a fuckload of sense. Of like, sure, you did like any president or whatever, you did a great thing in your first 2 years, but then you started 5 wars and like did all this bullshit. That's going to be a bad president, right? So like, I understand that in terms of like looking overall and then rating him within everything else. But it's just it feels weird to say he's overall bad when you like love to death like multiple of his projects.
Let me also make it clear that this is coming from a man that has not heard Encore,
the worst projects,
Relapse, or Revival,
or Side B for that matter,
or Side B. Yeah, you haven't heard like you've only heard good shit from him. So like you're not jaded in the sense that I am. I literally grew up from him like. Since 9th grade, that was the only shit I listened to for like a solid year. Like people roasted me. I used to rap that shit in the lunchroom, and like people would come up to me like, "Is that all you really listen to? Like you don't listen to anything else?" Like, no, I don't.
Also imagine Trevor with his hair
6 times today, like,
with his hair so long it hangs over his face.
Yeah. You haven't heard the worst of his career yet.
That makes a fuckload of sense. There's.
It's like hearing like Logic's No Pressure and Under Pressure, and never hearing, fucking Confessions of a Dangerous Mind or Everybody. Like it's that level of, for me at least.
I don't
know. Those albums are objectively worse than what he put out before.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's what I'm saying. Is that's fine. I just think it's for me, it's just incredibly easy to ignore the bad things and enjoy them for their best. And what I started this whole thing off with was, from a historian's perspective, from a legacy perspective, I completely understand and think you guys are correct. But from like being able to, enjoy the artist or whatever, I think it just makes no sense to group their bad stuff in with their good stuff.
I mean, obviously you do. Obviously, yeah. Yes, I can obviously still listen to an Eminem show and adore it, but like overall, nah. I don't even. He's not in my top 10 at all. Not even close.
It's like, I'm a little bit different.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's your perception, and like Trevor was saying, his batting average is 50%. Like,
it's actually less than 50% because Side B would technically be his 11th album. So
yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's
actually,
the point. He didn't want that.
I guess not. I guess.
He wanted to be worse. Yeah,
it's definitely. I mean, like, there's probably a whole like generation and a certain type of hip hop fan that can relate to us now who got into it from Eminem. You're probably like a suburban white kid, and it was like,
like us.
There's no doubt he's the best rapper to ever touch a mic, and it's like
the way he does those syllables and those triple entendres. Shut the fuck up! He's talking about going on a tree, and he's a tree branch, and like a pea on a Phillies hat. Why do you respect that? Like,
you're
like,
only referencing the recent garbage, but
like, he has great albums, and you can definitely make an argument.
But I like Forever by Eminem.
Okay.
Yeah, because when Eminem's on a track, it's his track, right?
Yeah.
No matter who else is on there. Thank you for bringing me into that loop. By the way, I would have never understood a lot about the internet culture surrounding early Eminem and early internet based.
Oh my god,
rap
it's so disgusting.
It's still
Renegade.
It's so yucky.
For context.
I like Renegade by Eminem.
If you think Eminem is immensely better on Renegade than Jay-Z, you could just go ahead and leave now.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
Nah. All right, so that was so for people who don't understand the context, who are like me, previously, until you guys explain that to me. Do you guys want to do that for the general?
I mean, there's not much.
Now? There's not much to say. It's just the one comment or whatever that you guys explained to me.
Eminem's fan base, it's still how it is now. They basically just, once Eminem is on a song, it's no longer your song. There's the hold my lungs thing, like he doesn't need to breathe, which ties into my original point of like, I get it if you're coming at hip hop. I feel like there's a whole group of people who can relate to Trevor and I, especially of like, this is one of the first rappers I ever listened to, probably the first.
Definitely the first for me too, yeah.
I heard him as a kid, and it was like, thankfully I got introduced to T.I. pretty quickly and a few others, but like
Gambino.
And so like, I feel like a lot of people can relate, and he just sort of, with him tarnishing his legacy, it's like once you discover Jay-Z and like Jay-Z is putting out great stuff, like obviously he has some missteps and whatever, but it's like you sort of just a lot of people I feel like just drift away. And if you've been listening to music for like 10 years and you're still like the only rapper I like is Eminem, I don't really understand you.
Yeah, that's absurd.
I
don't really understand you. He's so unabrasive. It's so cute.
That's very that's actually facts, Trevor. Isn't David so cute? Look at him. Look at those glasses. Look at that man. Look at that man right there. My God. That smile, he's cheesing.
My man is off the market now too. I'm so pissed.
Let's get dangerous.
Hey, you got the hall pass. Stop bitching.
No, that's true.
You have no room to complain, mister.
Quit your bitching,
Shout out
bro.
to Big J.
I'm the only one who can complain now.
Big J.
That's probably not what we're gonna land on there.
For our different names. Big J, Big D. Big D.
Big
hey,
D.
yo. Big Lil D. J. Big D, Lil J.
Big D, Lil J, yeah. Lil D is not a good one.
That's not great. That's not great.
Lil Dicky is objectively worse than Nas.
I mean,
but is he though?
I don't know, dude.
Is he though?
I don't know. Professional rapper kind of slaps.
Yeah.
I know your little dirty ass wants a bit.
About close my laptop.
Are you saying professional rapper is bad?
Yes.
All right.
That is what he is saying.
I'm sorry, my guy.
I know.
He had Molly on there, which was fun, but that was it.
Bro,
save that money.
That song is so fun.
You gotta save that money.
Are there any
Wait,
shows?
what? That's not the song I'm talking about.
Actually,
I know.
That is actually a good song as well, though.
It's okay.
But take me out. Take us out.
It's
Are there
fun.
any-
It's fucking fun. It's
Yes,
they're
I
fun.
David.
They're fun songs.
No, it's not.
Oh, no,
They're
I haven't
fun.
even heard it, so I don't think.
Good.
Are there any albums you guys have actually heard in full that you think are objectively bad?
Oh shit. Revival. What? Wait, that wasn't even a question. Yeah.
Outside of Eminem, we'll say.
Okay. Fuck, that's a hard one because
I would say definitely not, because the only things I've listened to have been what was, recommended to me on the pod, and things that I, actually like so much that I bothered listening to the whole thing. So I mean, when I was a very, casual music listener, which I kind of still am, except for the podcast. I mean, I'm ramping up. We discussed this earlier. I wouldn't if I even thought to listen to an album and I got a few tracks in and I was like, then I just wouldn't bother. Because most of the time I would just go for the singles. I would just go for the pre-put together playlists based on genre or whatever, instead of listening to whole albums by one artist. So definitely not. I don't think I've ever listened to a full album that I even thought was bad in my mind, let alone everyone's.
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something that disappointed me. Maybe not bad, but I was just disappointed by. I'm trying to think.
Because I pre-ordered Revival for full price.
You said
but,
this.
But
You said
outside
this.
of Eminem, that was disappointing to say the least.
Goddamn.
Rest in peace to those precious dollars.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll probably go with Sounding the Seventh Trumpet by A7X.
Objectively, dang.
Objectively bad.
If you're comparing if you're just looking at it by itself, then it's just got some really rough mixing. The instruments just don't sound great. I know it's supposed to be a super metalcore album, very hardcore as well. Not hardcore in the sense of describing it, but literally that genre hardcore.
Right.
What
his vocals are just not great.
What release is that by them? Because I know
it's the very first.
It's the very first one. Okay. Because
2001.
Nightmare is what, 6? 5?
Fifth.
5. I think I got that wrong in the Nightmare episode as well. But anyway, shout out. Go listen to that.
I wonder if people do fans
That's
put that album above other ones in general.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking that's maybe when you can say objective is no fans are this is better than anything else they've put out.
The only album that it would even come close to being better, and I even hate saying this, is Waking the Fallen. But it's not even close. Waking the Fallen is literally the better version of that album.
Because similar sound.
Similar sound, similar abrasiveness in terms. I keep saying that in this episode, but abrasiveness in the sense that when we were talking about Wu-Tang and how they didn't have that much budget in terms of the production, so it sounded really rough like that.
Yeah,
that's how Waking the Fallen comes off. But they did the best that they could with that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't think I've ever seen someone say Sounding is better than any other album they put out.
Yeah, there might be
For the
but I do know that there are fans. I do know that there are fans that only listen to those two albums though from them.
That's
after that they kind of lose track because they literally switch genres. Incredibly switch genres.
That's
it's not even similar at all.
Yeah.
So for the completely uninitiated, I wanted to clarify because I didn't know until we did the Nightmare episode that that Avenged Sevenfold, whose discography you're currently discussing, could be abbreviated as A7X. So anyway, for the completely uninitiated, that's what we're talking about is Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, they're usually referred to that as that.
Yeah, I've heard that one. And
do you guys know?
I don't know, man. It's hard
a few joints off that album too. It's not it's not in
Warmness on the Soul.
Warmness on the Soul. Yeah. That one's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But I remember hearing
one they're considered bad.
You haven't heard any?
I'm sure I've heard it, but it's just I can't think of it.
It's different. It's that's a really weird question because there's a difference between it being bad to you and then not for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure. I would maybe a couple years ago, I would probably say a Bad Bunny album is bad. You know,
you would say that today.
not for me today.
Yeah.
So
can't be doing my man's like that.
I'm really trying to think. Like
yeah,
I don't know. I think that's the nature of art is meant to be enjoyed, and if you're not enjoying it, you kind of shut it off. That's what I was saying. So
yeah, that
makes sense in general. Did you have one in mind, David?
Well,
no,
you
posed the question. I didn't know if you.
Like I only know the ones of artists I was already really invested in, like Avenged Sevenfold or Eminem. So I'm like, I'm gonna listen to their whole discography, whether it's bad or not.
Gotcha.
And then that happened.
Yay.
Yay. That's a good one. I don't think it's a terrible album. I don't know.
Not that it's terrible. Not like it's just bad, man. Compared to everything else that he's put out, it's absolutely bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's shorter. It's the shortest album of all time.
That's fair.
In terms of what I've listened to, well, obviously that's the only thing we can fucking talk about, dickhead Cam. Hello. In terms of what I've listened to, hello. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Let's talk about the albums you haven't listened to.
Let's talk about the albums we haven't listened to. All right, number one. Okay, yeah. Today on Watch Mojo. But yeah.
Oh my god.
Fucking the Big Sean album that was produced completely by Metro Boomin. That's like 12 or 13 tracks, something like that, and I think there's like 4 good songs on there.
I think there's 10.
There's 10 tracks. There's like max 4 good songs on there, in my opinion. So
no,
that's when I would hesitate
5.
to call. That's when I don't
5.
like the intro track actually.
Trevor.
I didn't think it was that good.
Go Legend?
Yeah, I'm not about it.
The Travis Scott joint?
Damn.
Oh man, brother.
I might be misremembering. There's a chance I'm misremembering.
Oh, we're listening to that after this podcast.
Maybe I'm misremembering. All right, put an asterisk next to that. It might be one of the first couple tracks or whatever. But anyway,
everything through Savage Time. Okay, never mind. So Good is before Savage Time. So there's So Good is probably one of the worst tracks I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you. One of the worst songs I've ever been subjected to ever.
Before we keep going.
Yeah.
It's Drips, but even more descriptive.
What's Drips?
Wow.
What is Drips?
Off the Eminem show. It's an Eminem song with Obi Trice.
Okay.
It's more descriptive than sour cream dip.
Obi Trice.
Yes. Yes. No,
Trevor,
it's awful.
Trevor,
it's literally Cash Doll. Just like
it's
like you can basically put yourself underneath her and fuck her. Like that's how descriptive it is.
Yeah, it's your friend that you like don't really get along with that well, but he's still kind of there and he's kind of cringe most of the time. Maybe not a friend, an acquaintance, kind of like someone you go to school with, you know? And he just like for some reason walks up to you and tells you literally every excruciating detail of how he fucked this chick. And it's like, I didn't want to know that. Yeah. I didn't want to know, like, even though you both are like Big Sean and whoever the fuck he's talking about are like attractive people and whatever, like this is not like on the level of like it's the most unenjoyable pornography I've ever been subjected to. I'll put it that way. It's like literally like you could qualify it as pornography, like how disgustingly descriptive he is. It's like
come inside your face, oh baby, now you can't smile. Come inside that pussy. I'm gonna give your mama a grandchild. I'm gonna make you come 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, baby. Dude, these bars are trash.
It's the lyrics and the fact that he like moans the whole track. Like it's just like
I done fucked around and realigned your spine.
What were we fucking talking about the other day? Of like, fucking goddamn it, I'm not gonna remember.
Alex is cringing too.
Yeah, no, so good. So good is 110% one of the worst tracks I've ever listened to.
Yeah, I've never understood tracks like that. Like
it's so awful. It's like, literally the entire thing too. It's not like it's part of it. It's the entire fucking like 3-minute song or whatever, however fucking long it is.
The amount that rappers talk about being sus and like you know not wanting to sound gay or whatever, and then they make a song with them like having sex sounds and like moaning for other dudes to listen to.
Yeah,
it's
it was fucking Usher
for porno shit.
It was Usher. It was Confessions.
Cringes me out so bad. Yeah, Usher did it too. Usher does it too.
It was fucking what song was that?
That's What It's Made For.
That's What It's Made For. Like 3/4 of the way through, he's like, yeah. It's just it's so fucking bad.
Can you get it up again? No,
it's
I'm
like
skipping.
Like half that shit is.
you have no ground to stand on of like judging other people for the content of their songs, because like even the Biggie on Ready to Die was like that skit that's like F you or whatever, F
yeah. But
brother.
it's only salvageable because she says like you fried chicken eating like gangsta killing.
yeah. It's like a ridiculously over the top. Like she's like roasting him as they're having sex, and it's like
watermelon eating. Like that shit is hilarious.
That is
it's
wild
also
as shit.
It's off the wall as heck, but I cringe every time.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Good. Yep. Nope. Not for me. I can't imagine anybody who it is for.
Yeah. There you go.
Who it is for.
We've at least found an objectively bad song, I think, with the Big Sean track you guys were talking about.
Yeah, that shit was disgusting.
No, Go Legend, Big Business, Who's Stopping Me, Pull Up and Wreck, and Savage Time. Those are great. Yeah. Everything else is like a totally pass.
I think it is Go Legend that I wasn't like fully feeling. I think is it the hook? I don't know. I haven't heard it in fucking forever. That shit came out when I was a freshman.
Over
sophomore,
3 years ago.
Maybe. Now. Yeah, probably sophomore. I think it was the year after I decided.
It was December 2017.
Yeah, it was right after I. Yeah, So anyway, yeah, that's when we talk about you're looking forward to the next release of an artist, and you get let down. Was like I decided going into fucking what was it called? What's the album called?
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. Yeah. So
right.
I was hyped about that album too.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Metro did a shit I wouldn't say a shit ton, but he did a few joints on I Decided.
Yeah.
Like one of his biggest songs is a Metro joint.
Bounce Back?
Bounce Back, yes. Jesus Christ, I cannot remember it. Yeah. So like a whole album of that, I was like, bro, like sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like that was like the overhype. That was insane. Was like, yeah, every track is Metro Boomin, and that was like the height of Metro Boomin's game at the time. And like they had done dope shit together, like you said. And then it was like only half or less of the album was good, and I was just like, damn it, man.
That's rough.
That's a hard pass, but oh well.
That expectations thing too, man. It stings even worse. Like when you're expecting it to be good.
Absolutely.
It plays like a friend, but stabs you like a dagger.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Exactly.
Is that Amo 2021 or is that a?
No, that is the Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. Dang.
My man was like big, like offended that you even asked him.
Yeah. I was just trying to give you fake props for the joke, and you were like, "No, idiot! It's fucking Wu-Tang Clan."
Jesus, why did you even ask me that?
That's what happens. Dang.
Goodness, my goodness.
This was fun. This was fun. We're at an hour and 10.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss?
Good old fashioned.
I want to make it clear that I love Big Sean. Please,
me too.
If he ever listens to this, I love you. Please keep making music, absolutely, but just don't ever do that again.
Yo, if Big Sean finds the time to dig into the Unboxing Left podcast, I will be deeply flattered. I love you, homie. So
yeah, for sure.
Your album made the lowest...
He's probably the prettiest rapper of all time.
He's a good looking guy. Oh, I mean, it's him and ASAP Rocky probably would be the argument.
Yeah,
ASAP Rocky literally like models and stuff.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Lil Nas
ruin it for me.
Lil Nas is pretty.
He is, but he's not a rapper. I would
He's
say
he's
not a pop star, like a genre bending pop star. Honestly,
yeah. Same with Post Malone. I keep having this conversation.
Bro.
I think Russell, you even asked me like, is he not a rapper? And I'm like, no.
How we talking about?
So Post Malone is in no ways a pretty man.
No,
hey, bro, why you capping
That's
for?
Part of his brand.
What are you capping for, my friend?
Why you capping for? That man is gorgeous.
You've
seen his 18
My man has
face tattoos?
barbed wire over his hairline. Like
that is a career move.
What does he have? Like tired or something? Like always tired.
Always tired under his eyes. Yeah. Under one he has always, and under the other he has tired. Yeah. I don't know, bro.
Guy.
Sometimes you just drink 17 Bud Lights in 5 hours, and you're just like, I'll go get a fucking face tattoo. Sometimes that happens.
He's sponsored.
But then you drink Bud Lights for however long every day for consistently getting tattoos.
Yeah, I mean that's
at that point.
Yeah, how much can you blame on the alcohol?
Cause and effect. Am I right? I don't fucking know, man.
Hey man, make up for it with the personality. He seems like the nicest guy.
Oh, he seems nice as fuck. I was about to say there was a clip of him like heading out of his show, and he like accidentally like fans are high fiving him and shit, and he accidentally bumps a beer out of this girl's hand, and he like goes and comes back with a fucking can of Bud Light and gives it to her.
Dang.
You know, stadium beers, that shit ain't cheap. When I remember when fucking Trevor and I went to that University of Florida versus University of Miami game. I was like, I'm not gonna spend money on beer. I'm not gonna spend money on beer. I'm not gonna spend money on beer. I spent at least like, I think it was like $45 on 4 beers. Like it was like literally nothing for so much money. But you know, the tailgate beforehand had my wallet open. I'll say that.
If Post Malone is listening, I don't like your face tats. I do like sunflower.
Just sunflower, bro? You're gonna say just sunflower? What's the one with the yellow and black cover? Is that Hollywood's Bleeding?
Yeah, no, that's Beer Bongs and Bentleys.
That's Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Fire album.
That's fire too. But Hollywood's Bleeding is his best album.
Yeah, it's a good song. No
cap.
I high key
and it
gotta listen to that
reminds me
one.
of Spider-Man. So if I
you haven't heard Hollywood's Bleeding?
Huh?
Brother!
No, sir.
Brother! Oh my God! What are you doing?
I have not yet listened to Hollywood.
What are you doing?
I am recording a podcast right now. What are you doing after this? You want to get together or something?
No.
Oh, is it because I haven't listened to Hollywood's Bleeding?
I'm going.
Yes.
If we listen to Hollywood Bleeding together, do you want to get together after this?
That's fine.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
That's fine. All right.
Well, but anyways, with that out of the way, I think we can probably safely wrap this episode.
I think so as well.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, to one of our more off the cuff episodes in a while. We enjoy doing it this way.
We're trying a new style.
The absolute most off the cuff that we've ever recorded, for sure.
Probably, yeah.
David was pretty smooth with that. I can't wait to re-listen to that and see how he did it. Because
I hope so, yeah. Different editing style. Maybe you guys will like it. I think we'll try another one next week to see what works. But either way, thanks for listening. It's been fact rather than fiction.
Nice.
And
it's been factory.
See y'all later.
If you made it to this point in the video, thank you for listening. Please tell us what you think about this episode. If you like this style, if you like us, if you don't like us, I still love you.
Honestly, hit that dislike if you care.
Yeah.
If you really care,
I love
you. Listen,
even if you might not love me, it is what it is. I love you.
Yeah. My depression.
I hate that. I hate people that say they love me and I hate you. Like, no, let me hate you. How about that?
That's true too.
Jeez.
Don't underrail my hate for you. I want to hate you.
Dang.
Well,
all right.
You can hate me, but I can love
a take. That's for sure a take. That's confirmed. Confirmed something you said.
Because if Marshall comes up to me and is like, "Yo, Trevor, I love you," no,
bro, you are not doing that.
I'm doing it.
That weirds me the fuck out. 0% chance. Literally, I give that a 0% chance.
I'm a huge fan. Let me get a picture.
I would do it if he shaves.
If he shaves.
I don't know. I kind of like Eminem with the beard, but anyway.
All right, no.
Nah, that's the hottest take you've ever had.
Really?
Eminem with a beard.
I think it's all right.
Man.
I don't feel any particular.
Weird.
The beard is absolutely
weird. I don't give a fuck really either way about it. But anyway,
man,
I think it's fine. But whatever.
That
being my hottest take is actually kind of insane because I've had a.
I don't know. But yeah.
Yo,
it's up there.
I like Eminem with the beard. Didn't like Bring the Ruckus in David's book. That's what he's saying. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I the villain or is David? Honestly,
they're honestly on the same level, I guess.
all right. That's fair. That's fine. Yeah. I'll give that a couple more spins and maybe come back on a later podcast and give updated feelings and thoughts.
And look at more pictures of Eminem with a beard too. So
and look at more pictures.
Only if you send them to me. Only if they're only if you're in my DMs with Eminem beard pics will I look at them. I'll tell you that.
Wait, David, have you ever had Eminem as your wallpaper on your phone?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Have you?
No.
Okay.
I'm just wondering because you've done Black Thought, you've done Kendrick, you've done Joey.
Yeah. I've done Joey.
Alex out of left field is like, I have.
Oh yeah, I think I did Before the Money or something.
You got me bent.
Alex just holds up his phone and it's fucking bearded Eminem from the fucking awfully hot coffee pot freestyle.
You know what? Technically, I did because on my laptop wallpaper, I made a wallpaper, and it's just like a bunch of like album covers that I like, and one of them was the Eminem show. So technically,
there you go.
Well, he doesn't have a beard, so I can't really crucify you for that.
You trash ass Stan, get the fuck off the podcast. God damn it.
You Stan.
You
Stan.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. Absolutely. I was gonna make a joke about my depression not quite hitting different, or it hasn't been hitting quite the same recently. So definitely tell me why you hate us down in the podcast, so I can get back in the groove.
Yeah.
Did I just say down in the podcast instead of down in the comments?
Down on the podcast.
Down in the podcast. Yeah, that was smooth as fuck, Cam. Good job. So anyway, that was
just leave a comment on SoundCloud of our episode that is not there.
Yeah.
That's true too. Are we still not uploading SoundCloud? That's a different conversation for a different time.
We can't because it's like a fucking monthly fee.
Limits. Yeah.
Bullshit. All right. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, with all of that being said, thank you very much if you've listened to this point for definitely our most off the cuff, on unplanned, just shooting the shit, having fun with the boys episode that we have definitely ever recorded. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Let me know, like we said, down in the comments or in the reviews, what you thought about it. And we appreciate and love any feedback we get. Thank you very much. Adios, everyone.
Hey, before we go, Alex, once you hit that limit on SoundCloud, which album are you deleting?
The first one.
Which one is that? Adamantium?
The one with my stupid face on the cover. I don't know. I'm not a rapper.
Dang. That's the one with what's that one trap one that I like a lot?
Oh man,
I don't know. Oh, the Crook ones.
Crook ones.
Yeah.
Ali's is like, I don't know, man. I got so many fire beats.
I might keep the one track, the one that has like 1,500 plays. I might keep that one, but everything else.
Yeah. You could put the rest on YouTube or something.
I could. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I got 55%. So unless SoundCloud want to sponsor me with the free plan,
yo, reach out to us.
Songs.
Yeah. Nice.
SoundCloud want to sponsor me.
Hey, it could happen.
The rate you're going, you dropped like 3 projects last year, so you're gonna hit it pretty fucking quick.
No, well, I dropped two last year, one this year already. So we'll see what.
Oh yeah, Most Wanted wasn't last year. Yeah, you're right.
Is it
freaking SoundCloud? If you want me to pay for your system, fix your damn analytics, because it tells me I have like 2,000 plays from 2018 when my first post was 2019. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It keeps saying I have like 11 comments, and it's like 2 bots and then Alex.
Yeah, I mean,
which I appreciate. I appreciate Alex's comments, but then it's just like a couple of bots. It's like,
yeah, I mean, it was like we were playing through the first listening of Most Wanted. I think it was Gray actually that I noticed it on the Day Vision project as opposed to the Combo project. That like the song I had just listened to and progressed like down to the next one, it still said like when I finished the album that the song I had listened to in the middle had 0 plays, and it's like. It's like I actively know that there are like 3 people listening to this right now. Like it doesn't have 0 plays. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. SoundCloud's busted in a certain way, but sponsor Alex, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And Day Vision.
And Day Vision, of course.
Or as a group or something.
Sponsor both of us. We can make more music together.
Honestly, I think that Spotify deal might be coming in hot. That exclusivity deal might be coming in hot.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna have to.
We shall see.
There you go.
All right, Trevor.
But anyway, it's been absolutely real. I love you all. Adios. Peace the fuck out, baby.